Good evening and welcome to downtown Kathmandu. Hello to everyone in Mullingar and congratulations on an incredible night of commemorating some great Midlands adventurers and heroes, Charles Harbury and Anthony Adams Riley. It's great as a fellow Midlander to see such people of incredible depth and adventure being honoured tonight, and I congratulate everyone involved in this event. I'm talking to you from a pretty shaken and pretty destroyed Kathmandu and Nepal. It's been a dreadful few weeks here, and I'm down here at Durbar Square. You can see some of the areas in the room behind me, but the city has taken a hell of a shake in the last couple of weeks, and the whole region has had a major shock, which will take a long time to recover from. Those of us that were up at Everest, like myself, witnessed the avalanche from Pomori and the destruction of base camp, which is the first time I think in the history of Everest climbing that base camp has been destroyed in such a way. And it was pretty shocking and pretty harrowing stuff to live through and to experience. But to see adventurers and climbers and Sherpa flip from their everyday job of guiding people at climbing into the job of rescue, recovery, and getting people either back to hospital or back to their loved ones for burial was pretty incredible to see. And I think that human spirit was alive and kicking when it was needed at Everest Base Camp. Here in Kathmandu, the city is recovering. This area here probably has most of the visual destruction. There have been a lot of houses damaged and buildings knocked, but by and large the city has come out pretty okay from what have been now 2 earthquakes, one the day before yesterday and one on the 25th of April. And you know, I think the message that needs to go out is that a lot of the damage here is not necessarily in the centre of Kathmandu, it's out in the villages. We were in a village yesterday giving out some tarps, and the village was basically destroyed, and everywhere we've been in the rural areas, we've seen village after village after village completely destroyed. In a lot of cases those villagers are using brick and mud rather than brick and mortar, and the houses simply crumbled. So the problems that we've seen in people being displaced and killed have been a combination of pretty bad building codes in the city areas, pretty bad building generally, and a lack of good material in the hills and the rural areas, as well as villages being built on plains and on inclines where they should not be, places that are rife for landslides in the annual monsoon season. And really the race is on now to try and get as much aid and as much help out before the monsoons hit. We're about 4 weeks from monsoon season now, and we really need to get everyone into shelter here, and we really need to get people to safe locations, especially up in areas up on the Tibetan border near Langtang, Rawaling, these sort of areas where people are living in areas that are very much at risk. And so I think we've transitioned here from the rescue and relief into a kind of a recovery mode. And that's where your help is very much needed. There's a lot of people doing a lot of things all over Ireland to try and raise money, coffee mornings, dinners, various climbing events and so on, and that's going to need to continue. Today I saw where the UN has only raised a portion, a tiny percentage of its overall target for Nepal. So it's had an insignificant impact so far financially. And the UN is one of the biggest agencies. And so I think whilst at local levels, people in small towns and small villages at home are doing their bit to try and help 1 or 2 families out here, on the larger level, the humanitarian aid is nowhere near the size that it needs to be. So it's going to have to continue. And so for your event tonight, which I think is incredible, I want to say really a well done to everyone involved. It's fantastic again to see something like this happening in the Midlands, and you know, to everyone involved. I know Dawson, Stella Fox is there with you, and Dawson's footprint is you know, it can be seen up and down the valleys here, not just on the top of Everest, but in the school in Faleli and the other areas where him and the INET group are actually helping the education of some of the locals. And so I take my hat off to Dawson for that. He's an incredible guy, and you're very lucky to have him there with you. And I know Kevin Higgins is there with you as well, talking from Mountaineering Ireland, and I believe Michael Duffy has been one of the ones that's put in a lot of the legwork in making tonight happen, and so congratulations to you and your committee. It's great that you're honouring people of such grandeur as these two gentlemen. Certainly our route to Everest is in the footprints of the work that the 1921 mission done, the work that the 1924 mission done, the work later done by Hillary and Tenzing, and the footprints of people like Dawson who have been here before us. And for a lot of us that have been in the Alps and have been to the various huts and climbed Mont Blanc a few times, all of those huts and all of those locations are mapped in there because of Anthony Adams Riley as well. So two great Westmeath men and two great Midlanders, and maybe someday I'll have the opportunity to come back here and finish Everest and join somewhere way down the ranks of those great Midlands adventurers. But for now, from downtown Kathmandu, have a great night. Please enjoy. Thank you for what you're doing from a Midland perspective, from an adventure perspective, and please keep giving to Nepal. We need your help here more than ever. Thank you very much.